Hi, welcome back to Barely Keto. I'm Carl. This is the Valentine's Day edition. Let's get started. Today I thought we could go over a nice meal for Valentine's Day for two. I'm going to do baked salmon and roasted asparagus with a cheese topping. Of course, there's always the cheese. So I'm going to walk you through how to get ready to make that, how to make it, and then I'll show it all plated up at the end. All right, let's get cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to make a complete meal: baked asparagus with cheese and baked salmon with a horseradish Dijon sauce. This is everything you're going to need for this: a colander, kitchen towel, parchment paper, the square 9-inch pan, the 11x7, a paper towel, small bowl, some measuring teaspoons, cups, a brush for basting the salmon, a juicer, a box grater, a decent knife, cutting board, and an instant read thermometer. Because when you're cooking with fish, you definitely want to make sure your temperatures are right. First, the asparagus. One thing that I would recommend to anyone, especially if you're starting to do more cooking and you're not really used to it, when you have two dishes, try to find two things that A, fit in your oven, and B, cook at the same temperature. So everything today cooks at 350 degrees. I've already checked, they both fit in the oven. Now this cooks a little bit longer, the asparagus will, so we're going to start with that, get that in the oven. And then by the time I'm finished making the salmon, that can go in and it should all finish at the same time, which is also nice because you want to get your timing right so things aren't sitting around on the counter getting cold. Let's transition over to prepping the asparagus. I will post the recipe for the baked asparagus and salmon when I'm done up in the Google Drive. All right, so here's what we need for the asparagus. I rinsed it. Some freshly grated mozzarella, some grated pecorino romano, a little ghee to butter the dish, milk. You can use cream if you want. I'm trying to cut back on that a little bit because of how my blood work was coming in. Whole milk only has 3% fat. Skim milk has 2%. It's really not the hit everybody seems to think it is. A lemon, and if I haven't already said so, a little minced garlic. So first, paper towel, butter your pan. Just makes cleanup easier, especially with all the cheese. That is the oven letting me know it is ready to accept our offering. Then, very simple, you're just going to cut the ends off your asparagus. People, I like the fiber, frankly, so I use or save quite a lot of the stalk. You're just going to put that in. Or asparagus, as they say across the pond, or just grass. If you ever get to England in season for grass suppers, highly recommend it. It's delicious. This is a lot of asparagus for two people, but like I said, it's also really good fiber, so why not? You don't have to eat it all. Done. Clean up. Then it's really simple. This is a half a cup measure, so I'm going to use just a little less than half a cup. It just goes right through. But it helps keep it moist as it's roasting. And then I am a garlic lover, so this is a tablespoon, but use whatever you feel you would like. I'll kind of just spread that around so it doesn't get too clumped on the spot. And then a little pecorino romano. And like I said, you can add other things if you'd like. Like if you want some black pepper or paprika, have at it. You can also do that at the end. It's up to you. So this is about a 4 ounce block of mozzarella. I was measuring things earlier, so I've got my tape measure on my mind. So I'm going to see how far this gets me. So that's probably about 2 ounces. And I think that's probably good. All right. Very simple. In the oven it goes. Then clean as we go. I'll be right back. You don't have to watch this. All right, got some dishes cleaned up. So let's do the salmon. First thing I like to do is prep the pan. This is when the parchment paper is your friend. I like to invert it so it doesn't curl more than it wants to. All right, so that's ready. Needs some weight to it, but it's set. And then we're going to make the sauce. We start with 4 tablespoons of, I'm using avocado oil. There we go. And then we do 1 tablespoon of horseradish. Well, the tablespoon's not going to fit in there, so I'm going to grab somebody else to get it out. So, and you can, again, you can scale this back if you're not a horseradish person. Jarred is never as pungent as fresh, but I grated fresh horseradish once. It took hours for my eyes to stop watering. So you got that. And then half a teaspoon of minced garlic. Well, I'm going to start with the toasted onion first. I like to do the dry things. So this is powdered toasted onion. It does smell really good. Okay, that's that. And then some parsley. Now, I'm going to use about a teaspoon, but I'm not exact, but I'll measure it just for fun. There we go. And then the Dijon mustard is also a teaspoon. This is a really easy topping. Stir that together. Then we're also going to use a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then the rest of the lemon we will use on the asparagus. Make sure my strainer's in place. So half a lemon is about a tablespoon. Give that a stir. Alrighty. Very simple. I have learned the importance of cutting your salmon fillets in half. These are actually fairly uniform in their thickness, so I don't think I'll have to do that today. But oftentimes when you're getting salmon, it'll have a very high hump, if you will, for lack of a better word. So scale on this one, you can get rid of that. And when you have that hump in there, they won't cook at the same pace. You'll get overcooked on the sides and perfect in the middle, but then it's not a very good experience. So don't be afraid to cut your salmon in half and make smaller fillets. Put that right on the parchment paper. You don't need to do anything else in terms of butter or spraying it. It's not going to stick because of what's left of the skin. Then with the basting brush, I like this because you can scoop it up a little bit so you can make sure you get the horseradish and everything on there, and just give it a good bath. I wish you could smell this. It smells fantastic. There we go. That is that. And that's it. It's that simple. So I'm going to wait. We've got 2 minutes. I'm ahead of schedule. So I have to pop that in the oven. So I will see you on the other side of the baking. All right, here we are, 15 minutes later. And we have our baked salmon with horseradish Dijon and our baked asparagus with cheese. I used the lower fat mozzarella on this, so it's not quite as cheesy or melty as it would be if it were whole milk. But like I've said, I've got to watch that factor in my blood. And this, oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. And then serving it's really easy. First we have our asparagus. Just use your chef's tongs. Now Jim and I both love asparagus. And it is really good in terms of, ooh, stealing all the cheese, and I'm not going to apologize. It's really good in terms of its fiber. Look at that. It's so delicious. Ooh. And then for the fish, just lifts right off that parchment paper. One of the things I learned going through this in terms of tips for success was always try to find a meal that you like. I have a friend, Marshall, who years ago told me when we were clothes shopping, always buy an outfit so that whenever you get that thing out of the closet, you don't have to think twice about what to wear with it. Same thing with your food. Come up with things that you like paired together. That way, every time you know it's going to be on the menu, you know exactly what you're in for in terms of the prep work, the time, the ingredients, the tools, the whole enchilada. We'll make enchiladas one day. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Happy Valentine's Day. Stick around after the credits. I'm going to talk about something that came in the mail. I received this flyer in the mail, like I guess it was last month, and it just kind of irritated me. It's advertising a probiotic to take control over your type 2 diabetes, and it's a very well produced piece. Um, with my background, the first thing I noticed was there wasn't a single person of color in the flyer. There were fruits that you shouldn't be eating as a type 2 diabetic, and everybody looked sporty and like they were having a lot of fun. Yay. But I don't think we're at the point where a pill is going to help you solve your problems. At best, we've got it controllable with medication. I think we're clearly finding that if you change your lifestyle, that's probably the single greatest way to take control of your type 2 diabetes. And I would just suggest, when you get something like this in the mail, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And I did take the time to dig around online about this particular product. The Mayo Clinic, has a strict policy for not endorsing products, even though they claim that they funded them, which they probably did from a scientific research point of view. And when you go to the website, just pay attention to the language. It's it implies a lot, but it doesn't actually state a lot. I took the time to actually bring up some details from the study. It lasted less than a year. It had 76 people in it. Probably 30% of those people were not receiving anything but a placebo, which means that you're looking at a really small number of people. So you're looking at a very small data set, and they're turning it into this, miraculous combination of biotics for your digestive system to help you take, what is it they say, help your body manage diabetes. If you want to help your body manage diabetes, stop eating the sugar, stop eating the carbohydrates, start doing some intermittent fasting. You can control this on your own. I just wanted to take a minute and go over that with you, because if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, and the world is becoming nothing but clickbait.